You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet.
Hello!
Yeah!
Got it this time.
Hell yeah! Frog pussy!
Frog pussy!
Cucumbersome!
Cucumbersome!
I realize. Eventually. Let's just get all this.
All the buzzwords.
Wait, you're Tradesy?
Mondo! Tradesy! Oh, man.
You hear Jacob yelling from across the room?
Nazi Coke.
Miller sniffing.
Some say he's still sniffing to this very day.
Well, yeah, this is Tadpog, Tyler and Dave, and play old games.
Super excited for this one.
Oh, yeah.
How could you not be?
Our now coined Tadpog Simpsons series.
Simpsons series.
We are officially in a Simpsons series.
We're in our Simpsons phase.
Simpsons September and October.
Love it. Love it.
Love it. Perfect.
So today we're talking about Bart's Nightmare.
Bart's Nightmare. Cowabunga.
Where's the beef? Let's just roll it out.
Eat my shorts.
I didn't do it. Say the thing.
So yeah, we'll have so much to say about Bart's Nightmare. But first, what you guys been up to? What's going on? How are things? How's life?
Roll credits on Sea of Stars after
Nice.
probably 50 hours.
Ooh.
Good for you.
Because I did a bunch of as far as I know, I did all of the side quest stuff.
Damn.
Nice.
Although it's still like looking at the trophies, it's like 55% complete. So I don't know what all the hidden trophies are.
It's one really big hidden trophy.
No, unfortunately it's not. I'd almost feel better if it was. But going through,
It's
it's
a
like
new island that's shaped like a trophy.
it's Trophy Island.
Trophy Island.
So I don't know. We'll see. I might play more of it and try to get full completion. But then again, I might not. And get back to Baldur's Gate because it has been a minute since I played that. But ready to talk about Sea of Stars whenever you guys are. No rush. Take your time.
I do need to get back into it. I've fallen by the video gaming wayside over the last couple of weeks, and that's probably not the best thing in the world for a dude who hosts a podcast based on video games.
You're in good company, however. I mean, yeah, because I mean, all I've been able to do is carve out like 1 to 2 hours a night to play Sea of Stars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other than like this past weekend, I got back into Phasmophobia with the Steam Machine podcast guys. So Dalton and Willie
I heard
and
you
Nate.
guys talking about it when we were down in Nashville.
Yeah, man, because Nate said something about it in Nashville, and I was like, "Do you want to play? Do you want to play tonight? Can you get the group to get the boys? Let's play. You want to play?" And it happened that night. So
Nice.
I roll with a troublesome squad of bachelors. We just call ourselves the Squad.
so yeah, man, that's been fun. Hopefully, I can play a little bit more this weekend.
I need to get that game.
It rules. Phasmophobia fucking rules.
It got a Steam Deck Verify as well.
I haven't tried running it on Steam Deck, but
That's crazy to me.
it's. I mean, it's been in early access for a while, so
Okay.
it's not like. It's
Well,
not
I
like-
was just mainly referring to, from what I understand, the type of game that it is. I'm just surprised that it would run as well on the deck, being a smaller screen and things like that,
Yeah, it might not be ideal.
unless maybe you put it on a monitor or something.
Yeah, you can put it on a monitor. It's one of those games where it's like definitely wear a headset. You probably wear a headset.
I
when
do.
you play anything
All the time.
Yeah, I almost do as well.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm playing Phasmophobia, because it's like you want to wear a headset. and you want to play it in a dark room, and
Yeah.
man, they've added a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch of like, it's fun going back to it after a break because it's like, oh man, this is different, and it's like seeing what they've added and not knowing how some shit works anymore, and they added a whole bunch of different ghost types and stuff.
So I think I may have asked this before, but is this possible to play single player, or is it a multiplayer only?
You can play it single player if you want to, yeah. And I've done it a couple times. I might do better at it now, but like back in, I don't know, a couple years ago when I was playing, like that was a terrifying fucking experience
by yourself.
Yeah, it's starting to feel more like a game now than it used to, you know. But when I first started playing it, it wasn't. When I first started playing it, I wasn't, I guess, as you could say, straight edged as I am now. So it's a little more immersive, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It can really freak you out.
More to the Baja.
Yeah, on the Baja side, the strudel side, feels really real and super freaky.
I bet.
Yeah, but yeah, you can play it single player.
Okay. Well, it's cheap. It's like $15 on Steam.
Yeah, it's so cheap, I own it.
Dude, I should
a
just
good
go
buy.
and get it and to have it for whenever I get around to playing it. But
It's supposed to come to consoles. It was supposed to come to consoles in August. And I was really excited about that because I want to play with my sister and my brother-in-law. And they want to play, you know? And it's like I've been telling them about this game for forever.
is it a good game to play with a controller?
I've played it on the Oculus Rift controllers.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. I don't know how it is on like a regular.
Like an Xbox.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't know if I mean it's cheap enough. I may pick it up for Steam, and if it comes out on console, just get it there too.
There's supposed to be crossplay, but I found that out after the fact because I told my sister, I was like, I don't know if it's coming out. I don't know if it's going to be crossplay, but if it's not, I like it enough that I'll buy it on Xbox to play with you guys. I really, really want to play this game with you guys.
And the console's I love my deck, but I still gravitate towards my console just because I like that setup.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool.
The console release was supposed to come out in August, but then like they're a small studio, and apparently I think they had it was like a fire or a flood. And that like just completely put the kibosh
Wiped
on
them
that. So
out.
now they're saying October,
Which is right around the corner.
I hope they make it because like getting it in before Halloween,
Oh, that'd be perfect.
definitely a good move.
Yeah.
if they
Okay.
can. And like a couple years ago, they had a whole bunch of Halloween content where it's like you start out in this headquarters, right? And it all had like Halloween decorations. And they added
neat.
some,
Okay.
it's cool. It's a
Awesome.
very, very cool game. They've added new equipment and yeah, man, it's a big fan. Big fan.
I
of
know
that.
this about you. I'll try it. I'm gonna get it. It's just got to go on my list.
Other than that, haven't been doing a whole lot of anything. Nothing worth mentioning on the show.
Same. Honestly, I haven't done anything new and exciting to talk about. You know, I've still just been keeping up with my shows. Haven't started anything new. I'm on season 2 of Psycho-Pass, which I'm really enjoying. Again, it's a weird show, but I really dig it. And I think it's got a really good music soundtrack. Just it's real electronic background music and stuff, and it's taken a couple of really interesting plot turns that I've enjoyed. So yeah, that's I still recommend that one. But really, I haven't even watched anything good on TV, like anything new. And usually I got some movies and shit to talk about, but there's
Nothing.
there's not really. There's a bunch.
That's a dry hole.
It is a dry hole this week. There's a
Gotta lube
bunch
it up.
coming that I'll probably be talking about soon. There's a new Pet Cemetery movie coming out.
What?
And a new Exorcist movie coming out.
What?
Yeah, there's all
I
manner
didn't know
of
about
stuff.
any of this.
Pet Cemetery is, I think, called like Bloodlines or Beginnings or something. It's a prequel, I believe, to the One We Know and Love.
Is it so? It's a prequel to the original
I think
movie
so.
or the remake? I mean, they're
They're this.
They're pretty
I
much-
would imagine
They just swap a couple things.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a prequel. And then The Exorcist is another one, but it's not a prequel. It's like a fourth chapter.
I see.
But it's supposed to be like fucking terrifying. Like, you know how, like, did you ever see the videos about like how when The Exorcist came out in theaters
Yes.
in the 70s, it was 1973, and that was the year I was born.
Coincidence?
Coincidence? I don't
think
know. But they had people were lined up around the block to see this movie and everywhere. And, you know, it was so. Have you ever seen The Exorcist, Tyler? Either one of you?
Bits and
Oh, yeah.
pieces.
Fuck
Bits
me,
and-
fuck me,
bits
fuck
and
me,
pieces.
fuck me.
Yeah, my dad loved The Exorcist. I remember like being like 7, and he was like, "Do you want to watch The Exorcist?" You're probably not old enough, which is enough to be like, "Fuck yeah, let's watch The Exorcist."
Have I told you the first time I ever saw The Exorcist?
No,
So I've mentioned before that I've been to space camp
you're right.
a couple of times.
Yes,
And usually my visit, this is a long way around.
great.
Usually my visit to space camp would coincide with my parents taking a vacation of their own to like Hilton Head or something, you know, wherever they wanted to go. Usually it was Hilton Head. My dad wasn't really the guy to change up his routine much. They found something they liked and they kept going. And of course, if I was going to be gone for a week, they were like, well, we'll take a vacation too. Well, one year my grandparents, my mom's parents, who were really like super like straight-laced people, like to the extreme, like their whole lives they were this, you know, greatest generation couple that you would see on Donna Reed or, you know, Dick Van Dyke or something. You know, we're talking. I cannot stress enough how and they're great, but they were just like super whatever. And so they took me to space camp so I could spend some time with them. And I think they were going to see my uncle and aunt, and my uncle is my mom's brother, their son.
Okay.
My grandparents that I'm talking about, it's their son. Who lived in Georgia, which was just over the county line from where I was going to space camp in Alabama.
Huntington?
Huntsville
Oh, Huntsville.
is where space camp is. So anyway, they took me down there because they were going to Georgia anyway, and we hung out. And so we were staying in a hotel the night before, and The Exorcist was on like pay-per-view or HBO or something. And I think I was probably 12, and I didn't know anything about it, you know. I just was like, well, can we watch The Exorcist? Now, look, they were very, again, a very straight-laced couple, but they weren't naive. I can't imagine that at some point they didn't hear about The Exorcist. Especially considering they were in their 50s when I was born.
Yeah.
The Exorcist,
You know.
is that Jack LaLanne? Sure.
I don't know if maybe they really were that clueless. I don't know. This is my Papa Bob who watched wrestling. He
Okay.
loved this. This is the guy that loved to watch wrestling. And I mean, I don't know how this happened. But I was like, well, I guess we could watch The Exorcist. And they were like, all right, we'll give it a shot. Well, I watched The Exorcist for the first time with my super straight-laced grandparents who...
All of it?
The whole thing.
Wow.
Soup to nuts. And I don't know whatever came of that. Nothing was said. It was real uncomfortable. And I was...
Everybody watch it in silence and then go to bed in silence and not say a word.
Pretty much.
Turned it off and went to bed.
Pretty much. And honestly, I didn't realize... I didn't understand half the shit she was saying.
Sure, yeah.
I'd never heard any of those words
It was
before.
Latin.
Yeah, this is all Latin.
The Final Fantasy VI opera theme language.
It
Yeah.
wasn't until several years later when I started picking up a bit more of a vocabulary when it comes to things like that I was like, holy shit, I watched this with my grandparents. Jesus, I would watch it now. Linda Blair says some of the worst shit, especially that a little girl could say.
Right.
And I was like, uh-oh. I it was just weird. But
Your mother sucks dicks in hell.
yeah, stick it in her cunt and things like that. Yeah.
What would be great is you didn't really understand.
These are
and
all
they
good things
didn't
to do with
understand
dicks, I don't
either.
know.
Yeah, maybe they didn't. Maybe they hadn't heard that. I don't know.
No, I love to think of that scenario where you're both slightly confused about what's being said.
I don't know. Pavel Bob was in the Air Force, so I feel like he probably knew some of it.
He knows.
No, okay, did not. I think she probably didn't understand half of what was going on in that either, or she just wasn't watching. She was famous for just tuning out.
What's a cunt?
What's a cunt?
That's Australian for friend, I think.
Yes,
So, yeah.
It is.
Stick it in her friend. I think I just invented a euphemism.
It's a good Steam name. Change it.
But anyway, so going back to what I was saying originally, The Exorcist was so fucking crazy out there in its time that people were fainting. Like people were leaving the theater.
Lovecraftian fainting
and they had
couches
like
were put up in the
yes,
lobbies.
they would have like news crews out there covering the phenomenon, and people would come out. Men and women alike would be coming out, and people would be supporting them there, to get them out of the theater, because it was just some of it I think was obvious.
So the way we were about Passion of the
staged.
Christ around here. Okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, pretty much. But
I think it was marketing.
it was.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of marketing going on, but it created a massive amount of hype.
Yeah, it
and
did,
of
for
course
sure.
it made it this legendary movie. And after
great
that, the sequels to The Exorcist have
I haven't
generally
seen any of them.
the third they haven't been bad. They're all kind of slow. All the Exorcist movies are kind of slow. You just kind of have to be in it, to win it kind of thing. But the third one was probably my favorite out of all of them, because it was more of a modern Exorcist for its time. It took place in modern day, and it just felt more polished. I don't know, but really good movie. But none of them. There were some moments in Exorcist 3 that were pretty fucking terrifying. Everything that there's one scene in there's a hospital scene, and there's this really long view of this hallway in this hospital, right? And the camera never moves, and you see it was like in Halloween. The hospital is just an older hospital, and it shoots all the way down this super long hallway, and you see this nurse go into a room, and then after a couple seconds she'll come out, and then she'll go to the next room like she's checking on patients or whatever. And at some point she gets down to the end of the hall near the desk, and she's about to go in one room, and you see her the camera never moves, and you see her stop, and she's like, she hears a noise, and she turns her head and doesn't hear anything, and it's like, she goes into the last room, and then nothing happens. And then after a couple of seconds, this hooded figure with these gigantic shears just walks across the frame into the room with this loud noise it is the most terrifying thing. So
I
there
just think Clock Tower immediately.
Yeah, when I heard Giant
Shears.
Shears, that's what I thought too.
that may have been where they pulled that concept. I don't know how old that movie is, actually. I think it's actually post-dates Clock Tower. But anyway, so it had its moments, but this one that's coming out is apparently going to be like, they're going to ramp it up to the point that they supposedly did in the first one. It's going to be as shocking to the modern audience as it was to them. And I'm like, there's been a lot of shit
There has been.
since then. A lot.
You
of
can't see
shit.
Faces of Death.
Right. There's just been a lot of shit since then.
There has been a lot of shit, but on the other hand, I feel like there are a lot of new taboos that they can play with. You know what I mean? Where
Definitely.
just like 80% of this movie is racial slurs. You know?
Right,
Like,
right. People fainting, over it and passing out in the lobby.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
That's what they could mean that.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That looks like fun. I
When
think
The Exorcist came out, I feel like it would have been like, this is a normal movie.
yeah. But so anyway, yeah, I got a lot of shit on my plate coming up to watch and talk about here. But for right now, all I can do is speculate because I just haven't been doing as much this week as normal. That's all I got. Kind of dull.
Got my stove in and working.
Nice.
Yeah. It was a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one, I ordered the wrong cord with it initially.
I hate that.
So
Switch it to channel 4.
well, when I ordered it, he was like, "You have a 3 or a 4?" It's like, no. He said, "Do you have a 2 or a 4? 3?" I was like, "I guess it's a 3." I was like, "Okay, here you go. It'll come with it." Came with it. I guess I have a 4. So that didn't work. Thankfully, Melissa's dad is a master electrician. Talked to him, found out what we needed, went and bought it, came back, got 90% of it hooked up. So all the screws, I had to take off the panel and the electric and everything in the back, and all the screws had something for a flathead or a Phillips screwdriver. It's like, okay, cool. Except the thing that held the ground wire did not. It just had an S on it.
An
And
S.
it was really small. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I got all my sockets and I'm like, what? I can't get this off. What am I gonna do? And I text him and he didn't really have an answer for me. He tried this and this and this. I don't even know what he's saying. Till eventually I went and got all my dad's like 300 sockets and found one that worked. That took like another day and a half to get that screw on, to put the ground wire on the oven. But it's in, it's good. It's an air fryer in an oven and a convection. It's good. It's
That's nice.
I like it. Happy with it.
Where'd you get it from?
Lowe's.
They wouldn't hook it up for you?
Oh, those delivery guys were dicks. They
Really?
wouldn't even bring it in the house.
They're the same guys that probably delivered my washing machine. Remember, did I mention them?
Vaguely. I vaguely remember it.
I had a couple of dudes bring me an appliance. I think it was a washer that I ordered from Lowe's, and they weren't having it. They brought it in the house, but they're like, we can't hook it up. They kept telling me, we can't hook it up. We're not going to hook it up. I'm like, I don't want you to hook it up. And they looked really mad, and I don't know. It may have been the same guys.
Well, because they set it on my porch, and Melissa like opened the door for them to bring it inside, and they were like, it's good out here, and then just left.
Oh.
I was at work. She was there, so it was just like, fuck those guys. We had to make a sled, or oven sled, to get it up the stairs into the house.
I just said something about that because they should have at least brought it in.
Brought it in the house. The two giant movers who take a look at Melissa like, nah, this oven's out here.
She's got it.
You're what, 5 2 3/4? Nah, this oven's fine right here. You're good.
It's the 3/4 that does it.
Yeah, you're right.
Gave my first midterm ever. That was fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How'd the kids do?
Pretty good, because I do for an exam, I do the grading like a reality show cooking competition. It's like, all right, here's all your recipes, or if they draw from a hat, get something random.
You kick 5 of them out.
Yeah. you gone.
You're a great cook, but they voted you off. No one likes you. You have a shitty attitude.
Come here, you. So, because, it's like, okay, hour and a half, it's a test. Don't ask me anything except where to find something. Go. And, of course, they're like, Chef, does this have to... I don't know. Do you want us to do this? We'll see at the end if I wanted that or not. All right, it's a test. So they got it. They plate. The first time I ripped them up because like they didn't do any plating presentation or anything. It's just like they just handed me a piece of bread. It's like, here's the rubric and it says presentation. Like, dude, come on, kids.
I washed my hands.
They do get points if they do that, and I take away points when they don't.
Well, that totally, as you should.
As soon as I get in the kitchen, I just watch the sink, and it's like, who's going over there?
Tyler, have you ever seen the show Crime Scene Kitchen?
Uh-uh.
This is one I think you would dig.
Okay.
It's hosted by. It's been on for a couple of seasons. It's on Fox. Joel McHale hosts it, and the premise is that they get these teams. It's a baking competition, and they get these teams together, and each team. They before the round starts, they get to go into this kitchen where clues have been left behind as to what there's a mystery thing that they have to make, and they go into the kitchen and look at the stuff that's been left behind so they can try to suss out like what was made in the crime scene kitchen, and then they got to try to reproduce it.
Yeah.
And then they do the reveal at the end of the round, and whoever gets it's judged on presentation, but also like how close they get to the actual thing. So like if the final product, the final thing ends up being a wedding cake with, white, blue, and green layers. If they make a really shitty wedding cake, but they're the only ones that has white, green, and blue, then they might win if no one else gets that part right.
Yeah.
But we watched that show a lot, and I thought of you. I thought I would love to see if you would guess based on that stuff, because I think you might dig it. It's a pretty cool show.
No, I'll check it out.
I think you might like it.
I was hoping by the name, I was hoping like contestants to go into a kitchen where someone or multiple people have like been brutally murdered, and then there's like a investigator who just like gives them details. Like when they go over to the stove, they'll be like, they cooked 5 uteruses on that stove.
Make a cookie, but don't contaminate the crime scene.
Right, yeah.
You get bonus points for making coffee for the detectives and being a good host. Well, that is a good premise for that show, for a show like that. I'd watch it.
How about a haunted kitchen?
Ooh, haunted kitchen. That would be good.
Random shit explodes and
Yeah.
a haunting happens and it steals all your
Cooking
shit.
with a demon.
But it was still, they did pretty good. Only one of them followed the procedure they were supposed to. So basically I dinged them all because they didn't, and like their bread was like kind of, I got to do the Gordon Ramsay, it's raw.
You donut donkey.
Give me these 2 pieces of bread on the other side of your head. What are you?
His show came back on this week too.
But all in all, they still did pretty well. They still like you said, all the layers. They got all the basics they were supposed to do. So they all still did pretty well, except So I do enjoy it. I'm enjoying it even more than I thought I would, and
Cool.
I thought I would. So
It sounds like fun.
Yeah. No,
it
it
sounds like fun.
but that's all. I've stayed caught up with Only Murders in the Building.
God, me too. I did watch that.
I think I had the latest one to watch. Melissa will watch that after we're done recording. But
That show never fails to make me laugh aloud. At least at one point, at least once in an episode, that show will have me laughing out loud. It's so fucking good.
what do you guys want to do, a draft?
Yeah, what are we
Sure.
going to do?
I was thinking, since our chicken draft went really well, I brought doing a beef draft.
Okay.
Our favorite beef
You
dishes.
do beef.
All right.
Biff.
Does that have to be favorite, or can we just draft any beef?
Any beef.
Great.
It's a draft.
Do a
You can
popular
what you
beef.
want.
All right.
We were talking about the drafts, about the cartoon. We had a lot of cartoon theme song suggestions given to us on our Discord.
Yes.
pisstasters.com if you want to check that out.
This.
And at some point, I mentioned, because people just kept listing them off, and someone said, "How could you only pick 10 each?" I said, because at some point, all we're doing is just naming theme
Each of us
songs.
name our top 50.
We're just naming them at random, just seeing how many we can
Right,
come up
that's
with.
fun, too.
And that
It's
is
different than a
fun,
draft.
but it's not a draft.
But that's really fun.
It is a lot of fun, and that's what ends up happening.
Yeah, it is.
But and I'm not complaining, but it's if we're talking strictly from a draft standpoint, you got to pick.
So I have a new pitch. I'd like to take this show in a different direction. I'd like it to just be a show where we pick a thing and then try to name as many things in that category as we possibly can without using like the internet or phone a friend.
I would be more qualified to do that than I am
Nostalgia
to do what I'm
names.
doing now.
You say that now, but I bet we could come up with a whole bunch of shit where it's like seaweed.
Well, I mean, why would we pick
Green.
seaweed?
to make a very short show. It's like we all got a bunch of shit to do tonight. Topic is types of rabbits. I know there's a bunch of them.
What are them? What is them ones on that Watership Down cartoon? I picked them.
Cartoon rabbits.
Cartoon.
Literary rabbits.
Dave, you want to pick 2 numbers on
Sure.
the 6-sided die?
6 and 1.
6 and 1 for Dave. What about you? What do you want, Ian?
4 and 5.
4 and 5. So I will have 2 and 3. Okay. 3.
Tyler.
Fill this out real quick. Okay. So my number 1. I'm not huge on beef. I could easily give it up. If I had cheap and easy access to seafood, I could easily give up beef, not miss it pretty much at all. But that being said, there are still some beef dishes I like. The first one, my favorite thing in the world of beef I've ever had.
Wide world of beef.
Wide world of beef. And it is not the most humane of dishes. Veal cheeks.
Oh. What cheek,
Literally the face cheeks of veal.
Okay.
I had them at because you just think of your own cheeks, how soft and tender your cheeks are.
Why is
I
it
bite them all
not-
the time.
Yeah.
I do too. Why is it not humane? Do they cut their cheeks off while they're still alive?
Veal, just
Pay extra for that.
that baby.
You pay even more if you get to cut the cheeks off yourself.
Oh, yikes.
As soon as that baby slides out, get its cheeks.
Fucking get it.
Don't let it stretch its mouth out.
They're holding it down. It's like, come here and watch. We're getting the cheeks.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You had an order of what? 16? All right, get 8 of them.
You want to eat it, right? Come on.
I mean, this was back in like 2011, and they were outrageously expensive. I never would have bought them. I would just,
With the price of cheeks going to the fucking roof.
but they were delicious.
Oh, God.
Veal cheeks.
Veal cheeks.
Dave.
That's my chatterbait name.
Dr. Veal cheeks.
Dr. Veal cheeks. All right, look. That's a really fucking good Steve name right there.
You keep getting me every week.
I'm going with a hamburger, man.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to get that before I did.
Hamburg.
Going with a hamburger.
Watch that movie, The Menu.
I know. I
need to see it too. Yeah.
You, Tyler,
Yeah.
I absolutely require you to watch The Menu. I mean it. I would like nothing more than to talk to you about that movie.
What do I watch first, Empire or The Menu?
Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah.
The Menu. For you,
Oh, okay.
The Menu.
All right.
Then watch Empire Strikes Back. You should have seen that already anyway, but it'll be there. No, seriously. I mean it.
Oh, yeah.
And him talking about hamburger just triggered that in my memory. I mean it. Everyone should watch it, especially those of you who have been in food service. That it's perfect. It's a great movie.
The Menu and Waiting. If you've been in food
It's
service.
weird. I thought about
Waiting.
Wow.
From what I understand, my wife Tanya, she loves Waiting because she's like that. Except for some of the extreme shit,
Sure.
it's like, yep, that's how it is. That's how we were.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so dudes were spreading out their nut sacks in the kitchen. She goes, "That's how we were." So, I'm like, so dudes were spreading out their nut sacks in the kitchen. She goes, "That's how we were." So, I'm like, so dudes were spreading out their nut sacks in the kitchen. She goes, "That's how we were." So, I'm like, so dudes were spreading out their nut sacks in the kitchen. She goes, "That's how we were." So, I'm like, so dudes were spreading out their nut sacks in the kitchen. She goes, "That's how we were." So, I'm like, so dudes were spreading out their nut sacks in the kitchen. She goes, "That's how we were." So, I'm like, so dudes were spreading out their nut sacks in the kitchen. She goes, "That's how we were." So, I'm like, so dudes were spreading out their nut sacks in the kitchen. She goes, "That's how we were." So, I'm like, so dudes were spreading out their nut sacks in the kitchen. She goes, "That's how we were." So, I'm like, so dudes were spreading out their nut sacks in the kitchen. She goes, "That's how we were Well, I never actually saw it. But I'm
I
not going to.
saw nut sacks, but I never saw them like.
But I'm not
going to
say that they
It was more like,
were.
"Hey, have you seen my gum? Nut sack."
Dude, that's a nutsack.
Ian, your first beef pick.
A lot of my beef picks are going to be Is it okay if it's beef that's a part of a dish?
Yeah.
Or does it have to be like a beef entree?
You mean like you said, like meatloaf? Since it's normally like.
Well, I mean, the
has
meatloaf
pork and
I feel
turkey
like
or-
would be a pick,
It's an amalgamation of beef.
but like a meatball.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100% meatball. Yeah,
Then meatballs.
yeah, meatballs.
Dun, dun, dun,
What
dun,
what
dun.
variety of meatballs? Swedish meatballs, Italian meatballs, Vietnamese meatballs.
I don't know I don't know the difference. I probably Italian.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming would be like what's on a meatball sub
Oh yeah,
or what's in
that's
spaghetti.
pretty much the standard meatball.
Is that what would be in spaghetti?
Yep.
Yeah, then that. I like me a good meatball. They're
Big fan.
fun to eat and they're delicious, especially if they got a little crunch to them on the outside, a little
right.
well done.
Crunch on the inside's
On
bad.
the inside bad, outside good. You want to bust through the crunch to the soft, juicy tenderness of the meatball inside.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
You can have mine. I hate those fucking things.
I wanted to like them so much because of the fucking
know,
Simpsons.
'cause of the
but
Simpsons.
Yeah, they're Butterfingers.
They're gross.
Yeah.
Fifth Avenue. Try that. They're better.
So one of my favorite dishes to get at a Chinese restaurant, Hunan beef. Love spicy beef. Hunan. Not to be confused with human beef.
Oh, never mind.
Dave number 2.
I can't believe I'm also going to get steak.
Fuck.
Steak. I got hamburger and steak.
Hear this?
I'm done.
3 is hamburger steak.
I'm done.
That was the sound of me crossing
Is there a
steak
particular
off my
kind of
list.
steak that you like?
There's a kind of steak that I like. It's not the one I'm going to draft. I like a New York strip.
Oh, so yep. Okay.
But I feel like that is probably like the least popular steak.
Oh,
I don't know.
I like
man.
a New York strip.
I mean, I love
Yeah.
I love it.
So are we taking? Does that eliminate all steak?
I think that would eliminate New York strip. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I feel like New York strip's the least popular of the steaks. I feel like people usually go for like the
I don't like a marbly meat.
yeah.
I know that it's makes it more
I mean,
juicy and stuff. but
Wagyu
it's-
beef, eye of round, ribeye.
I think I've
filet,
just never had
tenderloin.
it cooked right, like a good New York strip cooked correctly.
Yeah.
And so it's always fatty, too fatty. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I've always kind of considered a New York strip to be like not as fatty, which is why I like it. Like I don't really like a T-bone.
I do not either. A
lot of
In
people
fact,
do.
My bias is towards my number 2, filet mignon.
Filet mignon.
I do like
Fillet mignon.
love that
Hell
fillet-
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, it's my favorite demon.
I do like a filet. Because that one, to me, it's just
Old
because it's
Ictos Domino's fillet mignon.
I'm picky. I don't like a lot of fat. I don't like that gristle and fat and stuff. The filet, you just eat it. It's just the meat. You eat it. It's especially
tender.
if it's cooked right. It's a shame it's too expensive to get, but when you can get it, it's worth it.
Won't
Filet.
you tell me how?
I'll say my number 3 is probably my favorite cut of meat that works as a steak, works broken down. I know a restaurant that tries to pass it off as tenderloin. It's not tenderloin. It's a much cheaper cut that's a little more unknown, but because it's cheaper and it's just about as good, called Terry's Major.
Terry's Major. I don't know this.
I know a Major Terry.
For the same thing. It's from like deep in the shoulder, so it's not super used. But no, it's a good. That's why I learned that at that butcher shop in DC as well. So yeah, Love a good Terry's Major.
Okay. Dave?
I go with beef Wellington.
Beef Wellington. Now, this is the one that's inside a crust, right?
It's wrapped inside of
Puff pastry.
There you go. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know.
That's
A lot of
Gordon
things I
Ramsay's
eat,
favorite.
I don't.
That's his signature dish.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things I eat that I don't really know or really think about what's in it.
Same. No, I don't. I know nothing about most of the food I eat other than it. I either like it or I don't.
A lot of times I'm like, this is good. What's it called? You know?
Yeah. So I can order it again.
Right.
It's what it's like. It's a piece of beef covered in Dijon mustard,
Ooh.
wrapped in prosciutto, and then covered in mushroom duxelle, and then wrapped in puff pastry, baked.
I would like to try that sometime. That sounds really good.
We serve it once a year when the executives at the hospital have their big meeting. We'll make it and serve it for them. So
Nice.
Sweet. My number 3 is going to be meatloaf.
Yeah.
I love meatloaf.
I love
Anything for love.
But I won't do that. This is the second time I've heard that referred to today.
Ooh.
That's got to mean something. And it wasn't from either one of you. It was
Right.
literally just something that came across
It wouldn't
my
count
path
if it was
today.
also me
Right.
earlier.
No, I would too. Okay.
I'll take something in the opposite direction.
Loaf meat.
Meat. Country fried steak.
Oh, man.
I don't like country fried steak.
I do. I love it.
Everyone loves it, but I've tried it twice and been like, nope, don't like it. I thought maybe the first time was a fluke, but on the second go, it's like, nah,
That's fair.
don't
That's
like
fair.
this.
Do you like biscuits and gravy?
I do like biscuits and gravy. I'm not like a huge biscuit, you know what I mean? It's not. I never like wake up and I'm like, man, I want some biscuits and gravy. But it's one of those things where it's like, I made biscuits and gravy. It's like, okay, yeah,
I could eat.
I could eat some of that. Yeah,
I saw a TikTok the other day of them of they fed British schoolboys Southern cooking. And they start with just the biscuit. And they're like, those aren't biscuits. That's cake, you know, because they call cookies biscuits, right?
yeah.
So they eat it, and they're like, yeah, it's real sweet. It's real cakey, whatever. Then they pour gravy on it, and they all were just like, this is fucking delicious. They're just tearing it up.
Yeah.
And then they added some fried chicken, and they were like tearing that up. Them British boys love that Southern cooking.
but yeah.
And iced tea, which they all liked, despite it being counter to everything they know of
Right.
tea. They liked it.
Now, because you talked about the biscuit and the gravy, I assume that was a brown gravy.
It was a white gravy.
Oh, okay.
Sausage
Okay.
gravy.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause when
I
you
always
were-
want a white gravy.
Yeah, when you asked me biscuits and gravy, I assumed it was like a white gravy. Like
Yeah, that's what they served them.
Okay.
Dave, number 4.
Oh, beef curtains.
Oh,
Oh, man, I wish I'd picked that. That's also my number 1.
Even bigger beef curtains.
You can have the big ones.
Dangle and jingle. Dangle and jingle. Beef curtains.
Beef curtains.
My number 4 is beef stroganoff.
Yeah, always, also very popular.
Goes hand in hand with beef curtains.
The stroganoff part does.
Yeah.
My number 5, because I was torn between two different things, but if I'm being honest, the one I like more, and I know would be worth more points in an imaginary game anyway, would be one of my favorite kinds of sandwiches, a la Arby's, a roast beef sandwich.
Hell yes.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
I always try to get, when I go to Arby's, just the biggest roast beef sandwich I can get.
Yeah.
Just nothing on it. I mean, I put horsey sauce
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Oh God! Oh fuck yeah, horsey sauce.
When I eat Arby's, I get the half-pound roast beef.
Yeah, the biggest? Like, it's just so much beef.
They might put more on there if you
Yeah.
ask them nice, but I think it's like the biggest that
Yeah.
you can order.
Yeah,
Because
Well,
of my gout, I'm not supposed to have it, so I
No,
eat very
roast
little
beef,
beef.
no?
Yeah,
Oh, beef in general.
beef in general.
Yeah, I don't eat a lot
Yeah.
of beef.
I don't really outside of just ground chuck.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's about it.
I do.
We'll do like hamburgers. Like Nikki will make like, what do you call it? Like a mock-off, animal style In-N-Out burger. She'll make that like once every week.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I don't know, man. We use turkey and like the taco meat, and we use turkey in the chili, and because I don't know. It tastes. I won't say it tastes the same to me, but it's close enough to me. where it's
Yeah,
like, okay,
it is.
yeah.
It
And I
is.
honestly kind of like it, where it's like, I don't know, man. There's less of that like meat oil. You know what I'm talking about? Like that, like the shiny liquid. There's
Yeah,
less of
the
that.
grease.
Meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something that in Kitchen Confidential, Anthony Bourdain's book, where he talks about him growing up, in the industry from him being a little kid and trying his first oyster throughout into the middle of his career. He
I
talks about
remember my first oyster.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
like about too. I remember my first oyster.
Well,
Probably way different than his.
well, see,
I ate so much I threw up.
Really? I almost got one down.
I see what you did there.
Oh, beef curtain.
So for him, it was just because he was on a boat with his family out on like in Massachusetts or something, and the guy who owned the boat reached down and pulled an oyster just fresh out of the water. It's like, who wants to eat it? The rest of his family went, ugh, and that made him go, okay, I'll do it. So he's like, I didn't like it at all, but it was a point of pride that I could do that and amaze everybody. And then at that point, food became my thing.
Kid, I tricked you. There was a rare amoeba in that oyster.
You have 6 minutes to live.
100%.
You chose poorly.
But he talks about working with a chef who owned like a famous seafood restaurant, exclusively ate fish, and he asked him out for burgers one day, and the guy was like, it's like, what's wrong? He's like, I've been around fish so long, I can't eat beef. He's like, beef feels dirty. It feels dirty. It feels heavy. I can't eat it. And once that was said to me, it was like, shit, beef is like dirty and heavy. And ever since then, it's like, oh, kind of how I've never really loved it. Now I have an identifier for it. So that is also how it feels to me. And I don't. So you talk about like the oil and stuff. Like, yeah, I get that. And it's like, no.
I mean, I don't hate it. It's just like in certain things where it's like when we do tacos at home, man, it's like I really do prefer when turkey is used, and when we do chili at home, I prefer it when turkey is used. It's I mean, we'll like do turkey burgers and stuff. On that, it's like 6 in one, half a dozen in the other, because it's for whatever reason. I guess because I put a bunch of condiments on there. It's just kind of like the meat it's just meat. You know what I mean?
It
Turkey's
gets
a
kinda
good blank
blended a little
canvas
better.
that just takes to whatever you put on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And no, it's days number 5. Yeah.
Yes.
Number 5.
Tube steak.
Tube steak.
Tube steak.
All right. Nice.
I see what you did there. What you're doing.
Milk steak. Milk steak. That's what I was missing. Ian, number 5.
Shish kebab.
Melissa would have been right up. That would have probably been her number 1.
I love it.
Yeah.
I just
great.
like it. I don't know that necessarily what if there's a specific type of beef cut or whatever you use, but I like the flavor of it, and I like how easy it is to eat. It's already in bites, so I love it. Shish kebab is awesome, especially I feel like normally I don't like peppers and stuff on my food, but I do like to eat the beef that's cooked next to onions and peppers on the skewer because I like the flavors
Sure.
that get on the meat.
You
but I
and
can't
Melissa
eat
are
the
of
thing.
like the same wavelength. 'Cause
Yeah.
She likes onion powder and garlic powder in things, but if I put onions and garlic in it, she's like,
Yeah.
I just want the flavor of the thing, but I don't like that thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where tube steak comes in handy.
Dude, just get the flavor of it. Just do up and across your lips. Get the flavor.
Well, that's 5.
I had chili for an honorable mention.
I like a
Yeah,
cowboy.
it's tough, man, because it's like a lot of the things. I feel
It's
like when it's
it goes in
interchangeable,
another
it's kind of
dish,
like I don't know, you know. It's right, yeah.
Like kind of crib off a hamburger. I like a cowboy sirloin is what they call the, but like the kind that you have like gravy on. You pour like brown gravy on it,
Like a
and-
Salisbury kind of
like
steak?
a Salisbury steak.
I don't know what a cowboy.
It's like a hamburger without a bun.
Oh,
it's,
okay.
it's
Or a
just-
hamburger steak.
Yeah, hamburger steak.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a fancy way to say
Don't
hamburger.
put a bun on that, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Right?
Which Banks Market will do a hamburger steak that's half ground chuck, half ground ribeye. That's
Yeah,
really,
if
really
it's a
good.
mix like
Yeah.
that, I really do. I like it. But I'll take a hamburger that's been just flattened out into whatever and pour a little gravy on there. I'm good to go.
Have we talked about Banks on this show before?
I think so.
Okay. That place is like walking into a fucking time capsule. It feels
Is it?
like every time I go in there, it's like, is it? Where's my mom?
I
You know, like going down the aisles, it's like, does she have my kid cuisine? Because it's like from the late 80s. in there.
Also, my other fifth, I was torn between. I like it every now and then if it's done, and I'd really trust the establishment, beef tartare. But I have to really trust the establishment, and it's not something I would want all
Never
the time.
trust the establishment, man. Think about it. Canada.
Like the last time I had it was at Jack Fry's in Louisville. Melissa and I went there, and I ordered it for like Valentine's Day. It's great, but not an everyday dish at all.
Yeah.
You guys got any other honorable mentions?
Nah.
Not
Okay.
really.
You want to take a break, then come back for the game talk?
Yeah, man. I'm ready to talk about Bart's Nightmare.
Me too. Stand by for something hilarious.
I know you like clowns, so I made you this bed. Now you can laugh yourself to sleep.
If you should die before you wake.
Can't sleep. Clown will eat me. Can't sleep. Clown will eat me.
And welcome to the game talk.
Game talk.
Oh, she's flooded.
I thought about doing that for like 5 minutes until like somebody said anything. And I was like, man, no one's saying anything.
I was just watching the waveform on Audacity. It's like, damn, I'll know exactly what that is later when I go back to edit.
Hopefully for like a split second,
I'll put
you're
like
not
a
sure what it is.
I'll put like some reverb on it.
Oh, thanks. Yes. Actually, if we can get a clean cut of it,
Yeah.
just sample like 3 seconds of it and then just copy
repeat
paste
it.
that.
Yeah.
For
Got a
about
stinger
8 minutes.
stinger idea. 10 minutes of
Don't put it past me.
hey man, I'm trying to make it easier.
It's working.
All right,
What are we
so-
talking about? A little Bart Simpson game?
Yeah,
the little
the-
Bart Simpson game that couldn't.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
This is what, just like Krusty's Super Funhouse. I rented this game many, many times. Not
Why?
because it's good. Because it was just like it was almost like a roguelike for me. I just get a little bit better every time.
I kind of get it because that's how I was at Bart versus the World, where I rented that so many times, and it's not good. But yeah, it's one of those where it's like, well, maybe this time I'll get farther, and like it'll be cool once I get past all these shitty parts.
Kind of like when Bart kept grabbing the electrified cupcake.
Yes.
This time. No, that was Homer that did that. It was when he was eating the chips and the dogs kept jumping
Oh,
out
yeah,
and
you're
snatching
right.
the chips.
Yeah.
this time.
It was also always available, but I remember I would play it and get really far and be very excited and then have to return it. So then I'd think about it, but of course I only got to rent. I'd have to drive. It wasn't a Piggly Wiggly game; it was a Movie Hut game. So my parents to go all the way out to the south side.
You're not driving. You had to convince adults to do this for you.
And going out to a Movie Hut was next to impossible. So by the time I rented again, I wasn't as good and couldn't get back there till the very, very end. And then I was almost getting, because I only ever got like maybe 3 homework pages. And all the time I read it and all the time I spent on it as a kid, because it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
It is very hard.
And it's weird and it's nonsensical.
It's a shame that Movie Hut's not around anymore, because of like Netflix and chill, you could have Movie Hut and Nut. Man, we should bring it back.
We should get an old Movie Hut and just do the show from there.
It's pretty good.
There's a very big one on Southside.
Pretty good.
It's been a pawn shop. Closed down like 15 years ago.
Which one? Which
the
building
Lily
is that?
Pond or something?
I don't know that one. Is that by the gas station, like across from the Walmart's butt?
Paducah Talk.
Yeah.
It's across from like where the Playhouse used to be.
Oh, okay.
Which was our hand job parlor back in the day that
And by
burned
our,
down.
you mean the one that we owned.
My family's well-known hand job.
the Holland Hand
parlor.
Jobbery, known as the Playhouse.
Come on down, we'll treat you right.
2 for $1 Wednesdays at the Holland Hand Jobbery.
$1 Holland make you holla at the Holland Hand
But yeah, look, if we can get Patreon up to like $100,000 a month, let's buy the Movie Hut and do the show out of there.
Yeah. We need it fully stocked with old video game cases.
Yeah.
They don't have to be the games, just the cases.
Sure.
Yeah. We would
print
need
out the
snacks
instruction booklets.
and a cashier. We need to hire a cashier.
Of course.
What do you mean? You just stay here.
That's where $95,000 of it a month is going towards the cashier.
We need you here
You live here.
from 4 p.m. until midnight, Monday through Friday. And that's it. You don't have to do anything.
We're
Wear
gonna be
this
here
uniform.
for 3 hours.
We're going to be here for 3 hours, and we need you to stand behind the counter in uniform and don't say anything.
It's a very weird Five Nights at Freddy's. We're gonna put you through. There's no animatronics. You just stare.
You're in no danger whatsoever. In fact, you can just fucking do whatever you want until we get here on Thursday night.
Your job is to keep a straight face while we tell our hilarious jokes.
So, like I said, it's an easy job. Bart's nightmare.
Bart's Nightmare. So how to even describe it? So
It's a mini game.
it's a mini game. Yeah, there are like 5 different levels. Really, you have to do some multiple times to get multiple homework pages. So they're really like 5 levels that you access.
You've mentioned the homework pages. The setup is Bart falls asleep while doing his homework.
Yep.
Because he's got this miraculous desire to do well.
Right.
He wants to do well for once.
Right.
Continue. I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, no, I think that's important.
Yeah.
That's out of character for him too.
It is. I think there's an episode where he really applies himself and Lisa helps him and he struggles and tries you feel real bad for the kid in that episode.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they pulled this one
I think so
from.
too. That's an early episode.
Yeah, it really is.
So he falls asleep doing his homework, and then his fan turns on and blows all the homework that he's done right out his window. You've been to the cutting floor site before, right? Where they show. So the cutting floor is a site where they show like things that have been cut from video games.
Oh, okay.
Just thought it was interesting. I don't know how this worked, but they have screenshots from before the game was released, and instead of a fan there on his desk, there's an alarm clock. So I don't know. I guess at some point the pages did not fly out of a window. I don't know, but it just because like the fan is super important in that cutscene where it
It's the
opens.
literal reason for the game's
Right.
events to occur. That and they went to post, and they were like, "All right, let's start testing." Wait a minute, is that an alarm clock on his desk? Yeah, he set it so he could wake up. No, motherfucker, it's the fan. Remember, we talked about the whole concept of the game.
But he's got to wake up in time for school so he can
But
turn
the
in his
fan
homework.
blows the homework. Oh, you're fired.
No,
you're
but
fired.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because this game had a rocky development.
I believe
this with all my heart. I believe this.
It came out published by Acclaim Entertainment in 1992. It was developed by Sculptured Software, who's known for the Super Star Wars series.
Okay.
Which all of those games were in IGN's top 100.
Yeah, they were good.
The Doom port for SNES, right?
I'd rather play it on a pregnancy test.
You can do that.
I know.
And the Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat 2 ports for the SNES.
With the water blood.
Well, and the first one, spectacularly, the spit.
The spit.
We always thought it was sand as a kid, but Nintendo says it's spit. So it came out on the Super Nintendo, obviously, and also the Sega Genesis. And this game caused video game designer Bill Williams to abandon
Williams himself
to abandon the video game industry completely.
Wow.
Calling the experience Bill's nightmare.
Got one. Fuck you guys. I'm out. I'm gonna go sell washing machines at Lowe's.
Yeah, he's done. He's like, I'm done. And like he started developing games when he was a teenager and was like, I'm done. He also was.
It's what happens when you chase your dreams.
Yeah,
They're
man.
just dashed. The reality of the world and the industry just shatters your hopes and
I
dreams.
could see working on a Simpsons home video game doing that.
Because it stops being fun probably like day 3.
And you have like no ownership, right?
None.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like if you develop your own games and then it's like, cool, we got this great project. We're going to be like super hovery about it because it's The Simpsons. And there's no way it's going to be good because we're just going to keep like changing shit and telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Bill's nightmare indeed.
Yeah, because Bart falls asleep, blows up the window, and then he's still asleep. So it's all weird dream sequences as they intentionally make it fucked up and weird. He goes out onto the
Which
street.
was the style at the time. I mean, it was. Early
Yep.
Simpsons was weird. They tended to gravitate towards the weird from time to time.
Yeah, because you spend a lot of your time out on a weird ass Springfield street. And I mean, unless you have the instruction booklet, this game makes no fucking sense.
I didn't read it purposely.
Ask me how long it took to figure out how to get into the actual game parts of the game.
How to
Oh, I
Gumby
bet a
yourself
long
into a
fucking
fucking
time.
sheet of paper. Man,
I was so fucking mad, and I was so mad. I was so mad that I refused to look it up. I was like, I'm either going to figure this out or I'm not. And if I don't, then that's the experience I'm going to have with this game.
But what if you didn't even know that you're supposed to, like, what if you didn't know that you're supposed to do anything with the sheets of paper? Because I was like,
I didn't.
because I was just like, you got to collect them.
I just thought you had to pick them up.
Right. I did too. And so I'm like, go up to one, I press a button.
Nothing.
And Bart spits a watermelon seed out of his mouth.
Yeah,
You know, famous Bart Simpson's watermelon seed spitting antics.
Only slightly less famous than his bubblegum blowing bubbles that float away, because that's what bubblegum bubbles do.
all of this can be like hand waved by like, it's a dream. It's a dream. It just doesn't have to be on model. Yeah, it's fine. No slingshots and dreams.
The bouncing Jebediah Springfield heads. The living mailboxes attack you.
Yeah, I don't even know if the living mailboxes were a reference to anything. At least the Jebediah Springfield heads. It's like, okay, got it. Don't know why there's 3 of them all at the same time, but it's a dream.
Lisa flies over in an angel's costume and turns you into a frog, and then an old lady gives you a kiss to turn you back.
That's on my good things.
Yeah.
That's on my list of good things.
But I could not. I
Lucky
had
the fish.
no idea. I've never seen this game. I've never played it. I just got in and started, and I accidentally jumped on top of one of the pieces of paper, and I was like, this was after 20 minutes of trying to understand
Just
what
going
the fuck
up and
to
down
do.
the street, dying.
Yeah, there was no point. I kept going, jumping, dodging, getting out of the way of the things that kill you, which is
Auto.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it keeps running me
Auto
over in
with
the bus.
fucking school bus.
Yeah.
The most
And-
important lesson is don't play in the street that they're trying to teach you.
And I finally accidentally jumped on a piece of paper. I'm like, what did I do? What did I do? The next time I finally figured it out. And then I got into the mini games part, the game.
Which, right, it's weird to me that the heart of this game is that it's a mini game collection, but it is so annoying and difficult
And
and
obtuse.
too cumbersome.
It's hard. It's
to
weird.
get into a
I
mini
realize. I realize.
You don't have
preach it.
your energy bar is your Z's.
Your Z's, like your
Which
sleeping
you don't really
Zs.
get immediately. And in order to get more Z's, you have to blow the bubbles at them and capture them.
Oh, is that how you do
Yeah.
it? Because I
Which is
never figured
super
that
hard.
out.
You can increase your energy bar by riding the skateboard, and you get the skateboard by jumping over the basketball.
Logic.
None of this happened to me. None of these things happened for me. Because it doesn't make any fucking sense.
It doesn't.
And it's not
a
even
dream, Ian.
it's not even
Ooh.
intuitive though.
Oh, this is like honestly one of the least intuitive
That's
video
a feature,
games.
not a bug, because it's a dream.
We designed it this way, right, Bill?
Right, scapegoat Bill Williams, who left the project.
So let's see. So of all the mini games, collect the 8 pages. You have to, not get hit, do well to get, because all of it accumulates into the grade Bart gets at the end on his paper.
Right.
So,
That they put on the refrigerator.
yeah, yep. And then make faces according to the grade.
Right. I got a D-. It's the best I got.
F. Straight F's for me.
Because I got, let's see, my favorite game. I mean, replaying it now, I hated all of it. I hated every bit of it. As a kid, my favorite level was Bart fighting Itchy and Scratchy. Having your mallet or the plunger gun or the fire extinguisher, and you're just making your way through the Simpson house, killing Itchy and Scratchy a whole bunch of times.
I didn't even get to play that one.
Out of the mini games, I feel like that's the best one, and it's still not good.
Yeah.
But it's like the reason it's the best one is because that one is the core of it is intuitive. It's like, oh, Itchy and Scratchy are killing me. Oh, there's a mallet. Oh, I'm gonna grab the mallet and fight them back. You know what I mean? It's like there is
At
logic
least
to
some
follow
logic.
there.
Yeah. The one that got me like
You have an energy bar. You don't have an energy bar in very many levels, so you don't know what the fuck is going on.
right.
Well, and like
just
what?
like Krusty's Super Fun House.
Right.
You didn't know how healthy you were until you started wheezing. Ugh.
What I hate about the Itchy and Scratchy, and this is on my list of bad things about the game, is there are so many insta kills in this game that it's
Yes.
just
Oh
like,
my God.
And I was liking the Itchy and Scratchy okay, I guess, up until like you get to the kitchen and they start throwing knives. And it's like they come off the side of the screen, and it's like I still don't know how to not get hit by it. If you get hit by, and it's a giant knife. I mean, it takes up like a quarter of the screen kind of deal. And it's like if you get hit by it, you're dead. Like that, you lose a life.
Well, it's Scratchy with like a full blade because it's 4 times his size.
Yeah.
coming at you, or a bazooka that will one-hit kill you.
Had to take so many feats to throw that.
Because that, and of course you that one you do twice to get 2 different pages of homework. It ending and you go into the basement and fighting the furnace.
Didn't get past the kitchen.
Yeah, that was homework pages I got. I got the first one, remember, as a kid.
Did either one of you understand the Bartzilla level?
Oh my
still don't
God.
know.
There's no. That one makes one made no fucking sense at all. Like none.
Part 2 is even worse.
Where you're climbing
God.
Because you see
building.
how huge Bartzilla is.
Right.
Of course, you have no health bar. You don't know anything until it's just over, where there are tanks and planes firing at you, and you have laser eyes and fire breath.
But the laser eyes don't take down the helicopters. Like, I mean, I had to watch. I wanted to go into this blind and be like, I'm gonna fucking figure this out, or I'm not gonna.
Same.
And later the next day, today, I watched a long play, and this dude fucking knew how to play as Bartzilla, man. I was like, motherfucker. And it's like, he's like taking down helicopters, like with a fire breath and all that. And it's like, watching a long play of this is fucking weird, because I'm watching it and I'm like, this looks like a fun game.
But it
Playing
isn't.
Is not.
Yep.
Because you just, I don't. I think maybe the manual was something that I needed here, and I never looked it
on
up.
this part, I had the manual, still didn't make any sense.
I don't think the manual could help. I mean, I think it could help, but it's not gonna fix the jankiness.
Yeah, it's just gonna say use Bartzilla's powers to destroy the planes and make it and climb the Empire State Building. But you see a Bartzilla, massive, Godzilla size. You get to the building you're supposed to climb, and you're regular size. Either this is...
It's a dream, Tyler. It's a dream.
Because, you're climbing up an enormous building, people the same size as you, throwing shit out their windows at you to climb to the top, which is more and more and more narrow, which makes it more difficult to Homer Kong at the top.
What they should have done is they should have just, for each mini game, they should have just been like, okay, we're going to rip off a level from a classic arcade game.
Like
and
Rampage.
reskin it. Right, because that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was like, Rampage is so much more fun than being Bartzilla, walking from left to right while pressing I'm just like, I don't know, man.
Yep.
The laser eyes are
this
going
working?
right towards the helicopters and nothing is happening.
Did I hit them or did they blow up on me?
Right.
What?
It's just, what is happening?
Also, how much health do I have? I don't know.
Nope, then it's just over. You're back in the street again.
No,
Right,
good.
okay.
The street, my favorite part
Did I
of this
win?
fucking
Did I
game.
get a homework page?
No, you didn't.
I hate that one. My most hated by fucking far is the Temple of Doom level.
I didn't
Yeah,
play
that's
that
a
one.
really bad one.
As a kid, I could never figure out. I mean, it looks like it would make sense, like jump on the blocks that are tallest, or avoid the short ones so they don't fall all the way through. Because all it is Temple of Doom, 3 different levels of blocks, and you're jumping across the blocks while demons swoop in, fire, Maggie traps, spit pacifiers at you.
That's an insta kill.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to get past that. I mean, it's like, I guess I needed, because I tried to whip it good, because you can whip in different directions based on what, it's fucked up, man. Because it's like, dude, you want to whip right, press B. Want to whip down, press A. And it's like, dude, I kind of get it, man. But video game, all right. The way it works is typically you just press in the direction you want to whip, and then you
just
press the
one
attack button.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, nah, here at Bart's Nightmare, we do things a little different. Because my immediate thought was I wanted to whip at an enemy that was on the row above me. So I press up to whip up. Nah, I just jump, and it's like, fuck, okay, now I've jumped on a block that's too low, and it drops, and I'm dead. And it's like, there's so much of this game that is just straight up gotcha.
Because I remember as a kid getting that level, but oh, this looks cool. Jump on the first row of blocks, cool. Jump on the second row of blocks, fall through, die, back in the street.
Yeah.
What just happened?
Right. Dude, and you saying that it looks that it looks cool is really a fucking shame because like on my list of good things, I think this is a pretty good looking
Graphically, it is really
Bartzilla
good.
looks
Bartzilla
good.
looks amazing
It
in the
does look
first segment.
amazing.
In the
Yeah,
second segment, he
It
looks
is
like
not so much.
It's a little bit laggy here and there when the real shit starts to hit the fan, when big things come on the screen. But other than that, yeah, it's well rendered art.
Yeah.
It looks like it should.
And there's a really good, like, I was impressed with how the game opens. 1992, they get a
Yeah.
really good sound bite of the Simpsons. It's a
Yes.
little Super Nintendo-y, you know.
But that's expected.
Yeah, it's, yes, but it's good. I was impressed. I was like, okay. And then they got that, like, Acclaim used to do that thing where, like, Sega would do, where it's like when the Acclaim logo shows up, something funny happens,
Yep.
like Bart runs across the screen.
Yeah.
Ah, it's like, okay, all right.
Yeah, they set the mood.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
did a good job of that.
Looks like it'd be fun. Yeah.
All sizzle, no steak.
Oh, sizzle. No steak.
I didn't. Next to the itchy and scratchy level, the one that I thought was more intuitive, I didn't mind playing it, was the Bartman flying around.
That's the
I never
only,
got
aside from Bartzilla, that's the only one I would get. Like every other time, it was either Bartzilla or Bartman. And Bartman was okay. It
Yeah.
was just,
Your
but
slingshot sucks.
the way you fire the weapon is in an arc, but you get
It's like a
unlimited.
limp dick
Yeah.
short arc that is
You
just
get unlimited.
That's a lyric
ammo.
and do the Bartman.
Lip dick short arc. Do the Bartman. So you could just spam that, and it would hit.
Yeah,
and,
then you
but
just have
you
to,
gotta. It's a boss rush, basically.
Yep. It had good cameos, like all the characters, like Barney's burping at you while riding a pink flying elephant. The
Smithers
twins.
is on a blimp
Yep.
with big, huge darts that get shot at you.
Apu's on a flying carpet. The
That's
twins
so
and,
appropriate.
Yep.
too.
Or in the hot air balloon throwing shit at you. The one where you're in Bart's bloodstream is pretty easy as far as ones go.
I was happy when I got that
Yeah.
one because it's like, oh, I can beat this one.
Yeah.
So to explain for those that might not know, when you land on one of the homework pages in the street, you are then presented with two doors, and you can go left or right, and you pick the door, and whatever one you pick is what mini game it gives
Right.
you, and you have no say or control or way of knowing what it's going to be.
The color will tell you.
The
what it
color
is,
will tell
yeah.
you, okay.
But if you don't know,
But if you don't know,
Well,
like
you only
I
have
didn't,
two options too, so it's not like you just get to go
Right.
pick
Right.
whatever. It's like, what? Flip your coin.
two options, similar result. Awful.
Yep.
There is no right answer. The one in the bloodstream gave me Dig Dug vibes, kind of.
Yeah.
But like way super shittier.
Big Dr. Mario. Like,
Yeah, because you gotta swim in the bloodstream and then put this fucking plunger, or what do you call that? A air pump.
yeah, an
Into a-
old fashioned like bicycle pump.
Yeah, into
Yeah.
a germ and then explode it. And every time you explode it, for whatever reason, a Fission Joe pops up and you got to collect him.
All
Yeah,
right.
it makes the homework page like it gets closer and takes the force field away from it, and you go
Very
grab it.
weird.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was about. Yeah, that was my favorite one though, because I could beat it
Yep.
consistently.
Yep. Which I think was use the itchy and scratchy twice. You do the Temple of Doom. No, you have to do it twice to get one homework page. There's another one that you do twice. Can't remember which one it is though to get all 8 pages. But
Itchy and Scratchy, I think.
itchy. Yeah.
Oh,
okay,
you
yeah.
said that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just itchy and scratchy twice.
And then do you get a separate page for Bartzilla?
Yes. Well, yeah, because you
'Cause
you
there's two
climb
parts.
it's skewed on top of the Empire State Building.
Oh, okay.
So that's where you get that one. You get the one from the bloodstream. You get one from Bartman.
It seems shitty to me that there are 5 mini games and 8 pages.
Yeah.
That seems like a make it 5 pages or give me 8 mini games. Like, what the fuck are we doing, man?
Yeah, agreed.
Just do it again.
Right.
Just do it again. It's
Or
fine.
it's like it doesn't make sense. It's
This
like,
one was fun.
Maybe it's Temple of
This
Doom
one.
you do twice then. Because I remember seeing the guy go, I could never get through it. I watched the video, like, what the fuck even happens? So
it looks fun.
I guess if you know what to do.
Yeah, and it's like, man, this looks fun. But it's like, what's fucked up is like watching it, thinking that it looks fun, but knowing that it's not. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
even like if I'm thinking like even if I could play the game like this person is playing it, it still wouldn't be fun. It would just be like, look at this fucking thing I figured out. You know?
Yep. We're forgetting any levels? I think that's it.
I think that covers that.
But all in all, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they could have almost had something, but then it just falls apart in jank.
It really does.
It's super janky.
It really quickly is super janky.
Like it's I mean immediately. Ian, we had real similar experiences with entering the mini games.
Yeah.
That in itself, and it's like
To put a fucking flashing arrow or something, tell me what the fuck to do. If you're not gonna make it intuitive, if you're gonna have this fucking art piece, then tell me what to do. Give me some instruction on the screen. Jump on a page to enter, anything.
Right.
To save me that time, because fuck, half the time when you rented one of these games, it didn't have the instruction booklet, and we didn't have the internet back then. So you can imagine, this is how I played it, was as if I had just rented it and I didn't have an instruction booklet, and I hated it. I hated it from the jump because it was
Literally.
just fucking obtuse. The whole thing, every bit of this game is obtuse. And it's a shame because they have this great property with all this potential and none of the creativity.
it's a long storied tradition.
It really is. It
For
really
the
is.
Simpsons, especially in this era. And it's like that opening hub world where you're on the street. You can definitely feel like, they played the Simpsons arcade game.
Yeah.
And they played that Dream World level, and they decided we could do something kind of like that, but like not really fun, not fun at all. But like, you remember the saxophone that flew and had wings and it dropped musical notes? Well, let's put that in there.
That's a thing.
How about some TVs
That's
too?
what made that game
You
fun.
can go on the
Right.
street.
What's it do when the notes hit you? Hurt? Nah, you just make your controls backwards. Okay.
If you say
Skinner's
so.
there, but what does he do? He puts
He
you
puts
in
a suit on you.
Yeah.
What's the suit do? Makes you invincible. Okay. It's in the game. It's like Gremlins 2.
Yeah.
All right. You come up with a game mechanic.
What's in there? An oil slick. Is that from an episode? No. It's just a brown blob.
But it's
And
a
it-
thing
it
in
makes
video
you slow.
games.
And it'll get rid of the suit. So I do think that it is kind of neat how interactions, like your encounters with enemies on that hub world, interact with one another. I do think that is neat. Like when Fairy Lisa turns you into a frog, it eliminates your ability to attack. But there's also the old lady. If you run across the old lady, she'll blow a kiss, and if the kiss hits you, you transform back into Bart. I think that's neat.
And he goes,
Right. Yeah.
which is, look, little touches like that are
It's nice.
always welcome.
Yeah.
But it just, I'll watch The Simpsons if I want that.
That's true.
If that's all I want.
Right.
But
it's not on all the time.
right.
It's
Right.
on one time a week, in this era. So I feel like that ransom is what sold games like
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Yeah.
To kids like me, Escape from Camp Deadly, I owned that on the Game Boy, where it's like, I get to watch The Simpsons once a week, but I got a Game Boy.
I can look at it all the time.
Right.
I can
And
be
think
a part
about
of it and think about it. Yeah,
So
you're
weird,
absolutely
man.
right.
How it's completely different now.
Anything you want,
Yeah.
all the time,
Yeah.
anytime, as much of it as you can handle, more than you can handle.
It's weird thinking about Henry will never experience that, where it's like there's a thing I love and I get it on this slow drip once a week, and then it takes a break for 3 months of the year.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know if it's coming back. And I have to, for those 3 months, I think about it. And I'm like, man, I love that show. I hope I get to see it again someday.
Well, it's like these streaming
You
services.
better hope no one comes to visit you at 7:30 on Thursday. Otherwise, you're waiting another
That's
week.
why you're never supposed to call during Doctor Who. Everyone knows that. But that, is like, these streaming services will have a show that does come out once a week.
Yeah.
And when I finish watching, I'm like, well, I've got 7,000 other things I could go watch. It'll be fine. And I'll forget about it for a week because I got too much other shit to do. But with stuff like this, it's Thursday.
Yeah, so
The
much
Simpsons
entertainment. We
is
have to
on.
take
The
stock
Simpsons
of our
used to be on
lives
Thursday.
and spend our hours accordingly because there's more than we could ever consume in the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
So, how do you want to spend your minutes?
Bart's Nightmare?
Bart's Nightmare.
I think we covered
Let's
it.
do it. Those buy rent birthday.
I'm going to be honest, this would have definitely been a rent for me if had it been available. I don't think I ever saw it like on the shelf or anything. But this is one of those games where I do feel like I literally had this experience with the Rocketeer. I reached to grab it, and then a cousin of mine like put his hand on mine. He was like, no.
Yeah.
Like that's this kind of game where it's like I would have, I want to check this out. Yeah,
got
they've
that-
all been horrible.
It's got curb appeal. It's
Right.
got curb appeal.
Yes,
The
it
cover
does.
art's good.
The cover
Yeah.
art is
Yeah,
good.
it looks appealing. That's
It's-
probably why I grabbed it.
I might even go so far as to say it's iconic.
Yep.
I mean, with that like swirl background and Bart like being sucked into it. with
Yeah,
holding his
for
hand
sure.
Out, with that foreshortening. It's great art.
They get you, and then they disappoint.
Yeah.
So, yeah, rent for me, too, on that.
Any achievements?
I can come up with one.
I got some. First achievement. Oh, do we have a comparison to movie or celebrity?
Oh, I don't, but if you do,
I do.
knock it out.
I chose Ricky Deal Logan, who played Carlos in Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. And the reason I chose Carlos is because obviously he's in a nightmare. That's Freddy's domain.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was in a really similar situation to Carlos when he falls asleep in the van, and his friend's like, "What's the map say?" And he's like unfolding. You remember the old maps?
Yeah, maps.
Yeah. Do you remember maps?
You see, kids.
So he's unfolding the map, and then it cuts. And when it cuts, it's like there's more map that he's unfolding.
Right.
He just keeps unfolding and unfolding and unfolding. And then she's like, "What's the map say?" He's like, "Yeah, the map says we're fucked." And it like literally has like Freddy's like written in blood, "You're fucked." So that's what I chose for
love
the
it.
embodiment of Bart's Nightmare. Because I
Perfect.
felt like I was fucked because I knew I had to spend at least an hour with this.
Perfect.
I played with Henry because Henry was like, he wanted to hang out last night. And I was like, dude, I have to play a video game. I don't want to, but you want to hang out? You can play with me. And he's like, yeah. So we were playing, and this is super rare. This is the game that I played like end to end with, and we're about 20 minutes in, and he's like, this game is not very good, is it?
That's my boy.
And I was like trying like to stay positive, this is like, we're going to have a good time. And I did a good job of that. But I mean, so my point of that is like, I don't feel like it was any of my, like, I wasn't projecting onto him.
Right.
This was like he was like, I don't know.
I'm going to compare it to a celebrity, that celebrity being Madonna, and that there are so many different phases and eras of Madonna, and some are really, really not as good as any of the others. So her Material Girl can be the itchy and scratchy level, but her ray of Yeah.
Sorry,
her
Madonna.
ray of light. What is that religion that she was into for a minute? That can be her Bartzilla level.
I know what you're talking about. And I can't think of it either. I'll say The Exorcist. Because I just talked about it,
Yes.
and that's the only movie I can think of
Yes.
right now. It's nightmarish,
Yes. It makes you swear.
a little disappointing
It sucks
at
dicks in
points. Sucks dicks in hell. There you go. There you go. That's the one.
Okay, so for achievements, the first one I've got is Poor Predictable Bart. In order to unlock Poor Predictable Bart in yet another game having collected 0 pages, of which I unlocked anytime I didn't have the Bloodstream minigame. Second achievement, Say the Line Bart. In order to unlock Say the Line Bart, apparently, if you end this game collecting all the pages, your reward is you get to hear Bart say Cowabunga.
Yeah.
That's how you unlock Say the Line Bart. Last achievement I have is, Bart, you don't have to found a town to be a hero. Sometimes a hero can be a young boy with the courage to stand up and admit he's made a mistake. In order to unlock that, you jump over 3 rolling Jebediah Springfield heads in a row. That's it.
I love it.
I've got a Shitty Roadhead, and you unlock Shitty Roadhead when you get hit by so many Jebediah Springfield heads in the street. You wake up.
I can come up with 2.
Okay.
My first one is, my name is Otto, and I like to get blotto.
I like to fuck. Oh.
to get that one, get hit repeatedly in the street by the school bus.
Easy to unlock. I
Very
felt like
easy to unlock. There's
anytime
no
I cross the
warning.
street, it's just like,
Yep.
and the bus is so big, and like the
It's
sprite,
enormous.
It's huge.
It's 2/3 of the screen.
It is, and you're like NES Sprite. You're not like Super NES Sprite size. You're NES
Yeah.
Sprite style.
My next achievement, I had to look up, so I made sure to get it right. So my second achievement is Tide, Cheer, Bold, Biz, Fab, All, Gain, Whisk. And to get that achievement, you get the suit put on you by Principal Skinner.
Nice.
Or I should say, since he's talking about laundry detergent, you get in the oil slick to take the suit off that Principal Skinner put on you.
I love it.
I just wanted to say all those detergent names like Principal Skinner.
Totally get it.
It's one of my favorite lines in the whole show. Okay.
So we want to see what price charting and Flopsy have to say.
Sure. What do you think? How much do you think this video game costs? Bart's Nightmare.
This had to be calm. Oh, we're going to cost right now. I'm going
Yeah.
to say this goes towards my Flopsy guess. I'd say it's probably pretty common. I'd say $13.95.
$13.95
I
from
always
Ian.
saw multiple copies of this at Movie Hut. I'll say $8.50.
$8.50.
Actual retail value of Bart's Nightmare for the Super Nintendo, loose on average, according to PriceCharting.com at the time of this recording, is $18.99.
Way, way more than I expected.
Is it worth it?
No.
It's
I mean, I'd say it's a $10 buy if you can find it, just to have
as
in
a
your
collector,
collection.
yeah.
But not as a
No, this
No,
isn't
it's
one
not that
where
good.
this isn't one where I'm going to buy it after we talk about it.
right.
on this
Unless
episode.
what if it's $5?
Sure,
Yeah.
but yeah, if it's
I'm not going to buy it for
$18.99,
that.
right? Yeah, I'm not going to buy it for $19. What do you think Flopsy rated this game, and what do you think the availability of this game is?
I'm going to say common.
Common, okay.
2.5 stars.
2.5 stars common from Ian. Okay. Tyler?
Common. I mean, I'm almost tempted to say very common, but common 2 stars.
Common, 2 stars. I cannot play. I accidentally saw when I was flipping through to find the page earlier. But according to Flopsy, a.k.a. the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library, 1991 through 1998 by Pat Contry, courtesy of Monster Mold Mike and a mysterious benefactor.
Shadowy
benefactor.
Mysterious and shadowy.
Mysteriously shadowy.
Mysteriously shadowy. I like that. The Simpsons, Bart's Nightmare. Availability, common.
Sweet.
Star rating, perhaps one of the lowest that I have seen. 1.5 stars.
Finally, Flopsy gets it right.
Appropriate.
Who wrote that one?
DA.
I like you, DA. You're going to go places
in my
this
head,
industry.
I said 1.5, but I always go at least half a star high.
Yeah,
Well,
me
yeah, because
too.
they rate everything high in this book. I totally get that.
Yeah.
That's the way to play the game, for sure.
DA turned in his review, and they were like, Pat Contry was like, "What do you mean 1.5 stars? Well, that's what I give it because it's a bad." No, this at least this is a Simpsons game. This is a 3-star game just out of the box.
Because you like The Simpsons. 3 stars.
You're right. I stepped down as my position of the Simpsons video game review writer.
Good day. I said good day.
So, I'm going to go in different directions there.
Yeah.
I was going to ask which Simpsons, to continue Simpsons September and October, which Simpsons Super Nintendo game do you want to do next? There's 2 remaining.
This is Virtual Bart and what?
Virtual Bart is remaining, and the Itchy and Scratchy game.
Roll it. Let's do 1 through 3 is
Virtual
Bart, and the other 3 are the Itchy and Scratchy.
Come
game.
on, Itchy and Scratchy.
Virtual Bart.
Bart.
Oh, you fucked me again, Simpsons video games.
Maybe we're saving the best for last. That's a relative term.
Yeah, we've already done Krusty Super Funhouse.
To me, so far, we have done the best. So,
Girl, same. Yeah,
and I know you didn't like
I
it.
didn't like it. But I would much rather like if someone was like, hey, dude, you have to spend 4 hours playing either Krusty Super Funhouse or Bart's Nightmare. I'm going to choose Krusty Super Funhouse for sure.
At least in that game,
100%.
you know what you're supposed to fucking do.
Right.
At least until you, after you figure out how to pick up the block.
Right, right. Which was honestly about as fucked up as like figuring out to jump into a
I
page.
should have thought about it. I should have thought about it. What if I pressed down? Down worked in Krusty Super
Right.
Funhouse.
Yeah.
All right.
So Virtual Bart.
Virtual Bart.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would you give it?
So I think I found out what my problem was because I really struggled with heartburn for a minute to the point that
sucks.
I would throw up in the middle of the night. My heartburn was so bad. So I will give it my vomity heartburn burp where my vomit is all over my face from my heartburn in the middle of the night, burning and stinging and being awful beard.
That's like an e-fucked video.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to see that.
Patreon.com/TADPOG.
My bed is a little slanted downward at the head of the bed.
Got a puke shoot.
So that would, yeah. So now I sleep on multiple pillows to prop up a little bit, and I'm okay.
Do you still deal with that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, that fucking sucks.
I
dude.
do that because I was taking medication for it.
Yeah, I was gonna
and
say,
it would help
taking-
sometimes, but I also read like take that long enough, it crystallizes in your kidneys and shit. So it's like I'll just set up a little bit until I get a new bed or a new bed frame.
Damn.
So yeah.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a pair of glasses and sums up how you feel about it, What kind of glasses would you give it?
The scabby mucus glasses I would wake up with when I was little and being sick, to have my eyes crusted over with sickness mucus where I could barely even open them. And when I did, it's like I was in one of those cocoons from Cocoon.
Yep. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Good.
that.
Good. Love it. Accurate.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Where would you guys place this?
Bottom 200.
Yeah, that seems right to me too. I was having a really hard time thinking about this earlier today because I was like, man, this is a very bad video game, but I don't know if it's a bottom 100. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's like maybe it is. Like maybe it's a bottom 100, but like close to that 100 threshold.
Yeah,
Like
because
in the 600 somewhere.
it has enough visual appeal
Yes.
to take it out of the bottom 100,
Yeah.
but not
I like some of the sound effects.
very far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has enough like the tangential stuff.
Yes.
To,
But what's fucked up about it is like, if this were not a Simpsons game, like if this was just a random fucking kid or
About a
something,
Todd's
flea
Dream
or
World.
something.
Todd's Dream
Yeah.
World, this would be a bottom 20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's like the fucking license
Alice
actually
Kid
does
in Dream
lift it up.
World.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It does. It lifts it out of the barely treading water above the top 100.
It would be a
or
Philips
bottom
CDI
100.
game if
Yeah.
it were anything else.
Yeah.
And feel that weird kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
the wand of Gamelon like level. Like what the fuck?
Does that wrap up game talk?
I think that's it. If we want to head on over to Community Corner.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
Stand by for Community Corner, everybody.
Skirt, skirt, skirt.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Lisa, it's your birthday. God bless you this day. You gave me the gift of a little sister, and I'm proud of you today. Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa. Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa. I wish you love and goodwill. I wish you praise and joy.
I wish you better than your heart desires.
And your first kiss from a boy. Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa. Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa.
Hi, what's this package over here in Community Corner?
In where?
Community Corner.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
Community Corner.
I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't listening. What are we doing? Sometimes we take calls in this segment. Other times we open packages. This is a package time.
This is package time. We will package open.
The time for opening packages is now.
This is the time on TADPOG in which we open packages.
Did you like that bit? Send more packages. This one came in from Bubba Shane.
It was described to us by TADPOG Sweetheart Nicole as being heavy.
Heavy.
And for its size, it is heavy. We expected something else. I'm not
I
going
was
to
expecting a Garfield loaf phone.
I was expecting a Sports Illustrated football phone for me.
And I need that clear 90s phone.
Alas,
It is. There's no way those three things are in this package.
there isn't. But unless our phones have an expiration date of January 19th, 2025.
Ooh. Well, okay.
We have oh goodness, some drugs fell out.
Whataburger spicy ketchup. I recognize it already.
That is in fact what it is. Whataburger spicy ketchup, not catsup, ketchup.
It is heavy.
And there's a little plastic bag.
Sounds heavy.
I think Nicole needs to lift some weights. that's ketchup.
We need something to eat this on. I don't want to eat it just by itself.
You don't want to just squirt it in our mouths.
Let's just have a
Homer
dirty
style.
ketchup orgy. Just squirt it in.
Fuck it, let's do it. We're on an e-fuck
We'll have
trip.
a scene from Zoolander only with ketchup instead of
I'll
gasoline.
get heartworms. I mean, I might.
You might.
Heartburn and a boner.
It wouldn't be the first time. We got a letter here that was in a plastic baggie. I like to think that it was in preparation in case the Whataburger
plan.
ketchup exploded.
Good plan.
That it would be shielded. That's
Can I read the
smart.
letter?
Yes.
I
of
never
course,
get to read the letters.
You got to read the letter.
I got to read
Ian.
the letter, but that's the last letter I
the
read.
famous Tadpog letter you got to read.
Civil War music begins.
Greetings, Tad. Ian is silent. Pog.
Greetings.
Oh, he's got an asterisk here at the top.
Okay.
It says, can't spell to save my life. Sorry.
No worries.
I assume he said it like a Canadian. He wrote it like a Canadian.
I wasn't going to say
So I said
anything
sorry.
about that. I just thought it was your Canadian heritage.
Sometimes
coming through.
I do. I am so Canadian.
I know.
I do sometimes say sorry, actually. Anyway, greetings, Tad. Ian is silent. Pog. Bubba Shane here. Recently, you all did a condiment draft.
We did.
And in said discussion, the best ketchup came up, and I knew it was going to be Whataburger. Not sure if you could get this, but if not, here you go. Hopefully, this had not exploded in the package due to the heat.
There we go.
Due to the heat, which is crossed out, swampy heat of Satan's chode that we are having in South Texas. I hope this lives up to all of the hype. Don't worry, Ian, it's not that spicy. Thank you for the warning. And tangent time. I'm a teacher, so don't get much time to binge media till summer. Rogue Legacy 2 just dropped on PSN.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
yeah.
And I like it a bunch. Not crazy about finding spots to next. God, I'm sorry. I can't read this. Not crazy about finding spots to next levels, but do love the diversity of the playable characters. Boxer, Gunslinger, and Bard are my favorites.
Damn, dog. We are polar opposites.
Mods for character and skill tree. Ghost stories. Hysterical. Watched while playing board games and would laugh while others were not paying attention. Evil Dead Rise, which I mentioned.
Right, yeah.
Love that movie. That's what I'm saying. That's not what he said yet. I don't know what he said.
He's probably going to say that.
Perfect recreation of Sam Raimi's legacy. Clever, brutal, creepy. Perfect. I agree with you, Bubba Shane. That is it. I watched that movie again for the third or fourth time the other day.
Damn, dog.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I can tell.
It's so good. It's so well done. Odd Taxi.
Love Odd Taxi.
So good. Love how everything is connected.
God, man. Odd Taxi, that's like a fucking top 10 anime.
I need to
Odd
watch that
Taxi's-
one.
Odd Taxi is so good, but it is so...
Odd?
It is odd,
Taxi?
but it is
So fucking
How'd you guys know
taxi.
this? Have you seen it?
Context clues.
But it's not like, it is definitely not a traditional anime. It is not a, it's not, it doesn't have the tropes that a lot of anime has. So
yeah, I actually have been meaning to watch it, and I forgot to add it to my list. So I've got time now. I'll watch a little.
which could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on what you're going to watch anime for. Because
Right.
I mean, I like a tropey show, but I also
Well, it's nice when they do. There's so many tropey ones.
Yeah.
It's nice when they break from that.
sorry, I
So,
haven't thought about Odd Taxi in a minute.
all right, we'll check it out. The D&D movie, fun whole family watch. solid A movie. I agree.
Yeah, I liked it.
Great movie.
Yeah,
Loved
Honor
it.
Among
Had a lot of
Thieves.
fun with that one.
Yeah.
Bodies, bodies, bodies. Who done it type? Kind of much till the end. I'm so sorry. I can't read that. Oh, to the reveal. Kind of. I think he says kind of much till the reveal. That one didn't impress me, but it's worth a watch. I mentioned it. He's talking about things we've already mentioned, right?
Right.
This is okay. Peanut Butter Falcon. Super cute. Heartwarming without cheese. I know Shia LaBeouf is in it, but have faith.
You guys have got to write these letters slower. Ian can't read that fast.
Plus Mick Foley.
It's a dad joke.
Let's see. You wanted to read it, man. Where are we? Peanut Butter
bottom.
Falcon. Super cute. Heartwarming without cheese. I know Shia LaBeouf is in it, but have faith. Plus McFoley. Yes, that McFoley is in it. No Sacco, though?
Sacco is
Sacco is puppet.
Oh, okay.
McFoley's puppet.
Anywho, I am rambling. Thank you all for the hours of enjoyment and discussion. Wednesdays are my favorite or my grandmother would say favorite. Famously.
I think you said Sacco. Ian and I both held our hands up.
Yeah. No, it was perfect. It's all right.
All right.
Wednesdays are my favorite because I get to hear from you three. That was very sweet, Bubba Shane. Thanks for bringing back all calls.
You're welcome.
Fully enjoy them.
Our pleasure.
And we'll call more often. That'd be nice. Have a 3-part in the logs. So if you see 361, get ready for that. All right. So 361 is Bubba Shane. Much love. Love scratched out. Gooter is written in place. Much Gooter. Bubba Shane. P.S. This is what the alphabet would look like if Q and R were eliminated. Real P.S. How are your cats doing?
Oh my
Man,
goodness.
that's an old callback.
Caracat is alive, limping around a bunch. Not sure how much longer she's got. She seems... I say that just because it's like, we don't know what... She's always had this paw issue where we think it had been broken or something before she lived with us. And just over time, it's gotten worse and worse. And like, she can't walk on it really well. Other than that, she's good. Berlioz, great, super soft, always wants to cuddle in bed, fat as ever, love him.
Jean Grey is doing well, killing birds and leaving them for my dog Penny to gobble up, which is the grossest thing ever.
Crunch, crunch.
I was chasing Penny around the yard. She had a dead, freshly killed bird in her mouth and was just gobbling it as fast as she could. She was chomping.
Bring back
It
in
was-
the...
I had nightmares about that vision. It was awful. It was awful. But anyway, Jean Grey killed the bird, and she's doing fine in her old age. She's just a old gray cat. And then Rizzo is fat.
That's a Phoenix Force that Jean Grey got.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rizzo is fat and fluffy, and she has a great big mat of fur on her back that looks like another animal that I can't. We have to try to catch her to shave it off, which we have not been able to do yet.
I thought you were going to say it was in the shape of Alfred Hitchcock's silhouette.
These are could be if you look hard enough. These are outdoor cats. Rizzo is very timid, and if you approach her or try to grab her in some way, when she is feeling affectionate enough to let you pet her, she will run. And for a fat cat, she's real fast, and she knows how to get under the house real quick, so we can't catch her. So she has like this. She looks like a possum with another. She looks like she has a full-grown possum on her back from her dreads.
It's a hell of a mat.
It's a huge mat. We really, really need to cut it off, but we just can't catch her to do it. So, but she's doing all right otherwise.
Good.
Do you have any cats, Tyler?
I have no cats.
I have no cats.
River and Sky are in that great cat
In
heaven.
that great river in the
Ridge.
sky.
Yep. They are in the summer blossom family heaven, far above.
Rest in
They're
peace.
immortalized in my shadow box that I make every year. Pictures of them in my shadow box the year they died. So I don't know if I can get other cats. So I have no cats. I have a Bella dog.
Bella,
And she shits everywhere.
I like
That
Bella.
dogs do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
She likes
Bella.
we can't keep a bath mat because that is where she will piss.
Hey, she's trying to help, right? She's like, I know I'm not supposed to be on the floor, man.
But I'm gonna do it right here. You guys put water right here. I'll put water right,
Right.
here.
That's the wet place.
You guys shower and pee, right? That's how this works.
I hear you guys talk about golden showers all the time. That's
Right.
what I'm gonna do.
I'm in there. We got the blue noise. I know what's up.
And then if the laundry piles up too far in the laundry room, she'll shit on it.
She's just trying to motivate you.
The number of times I have gone to throw my work clothes in the dryer and stepped in dog shit right in front of the
I thought
washing
you were going to say the
machine.
number of times you've washed a turd by accident.
Oh, I'm sure.
What's this weird smooth brown rock? Oh.
Because the other day I had such a bad time because I was like, oh shit, I gotta wash my my chef jacket before tomorrow. So I go in there, go in the laundry room, boom, step in dog shit. It's like, fuck. And it's like the stickiest. Like I don't know what the fuck. She just ate glue
ickiest.
and passed it through because it's like
That's
the
what dead
stickiest.
birds turn into, I think, in dog guts.
That's how they make glue.
I
Little
hobble
fact.
into the bathroom, trying to, and it is not want to come off my foot. And I finally get it off, and I go and I grab
Were you
the towel.
barefoot?
Yeah, I was barefoot. So then I go and grab the towel to dry off my foot. Covered in dog piss.
Got you again.
It's the twofer.
Man, you got wombo comboed.
Yeah, I was pretty pissed off.
Yep. Yep.
I like Bella because when I go in your house, she stands right next to me and barks at me a lot. And then I'll bend down and pet her. And she'll let me pet her. And it's like, oh, you're a good girl. You're the bestest, goodest. And then I'll stand up and she'll start barking at me again. Intruder, intruder. Oh, that feels good right there, rubber. Intruder, intruder.
Ain't the brightest dog.
I know I've told this on the show before, but I think it was a long time ago. And you, Ian, talking about your dog eating the bird reminded me of, I'll never forget this. I was in high school. We had a dog named Baja who was like a Beagle Springer Spaniel mix. Great dog.
It's the beagle
Yeah,
that my Penny's half beagle.
has to be.
Yeah.
So, and Baja was an outside dog. We lived in it wasn't really a neighborhood. We lived in on a street where like the houses were kind of like a quarter of a mile apart kind of deal. Lots of room for her to run, and she loved doing it. And I remember coming home from high school, my Mazda 626 pulling up in the driveway, and I saw Baja loved playing with tennis balls. Loved it. She would always have a tennis ball, could throw it up, and she'd catch it. She was like one of those dogs. And I'm pulling up in the driveway, and the driveway goes up a hill, and I'm driving up, and I was like, oh, there's Baja. And she loved playing with tennis balls so much that she would take a tennis ball in her mouth, throw it up, like she'd throw her head back and let the ball go, so the ball would go up in the air, and then she'd catch it on the way down. And she would do that for a while until somebody would actually throw it for her. So I'm pulling up the driveway, I see her doing that. And I remember thinking, we need to get her a new ball.
That
because
ball looks floppy and dirty.
she has torn it up. It's tearing
I
apart.
saw this coming.
Guesses on what it was?
Weasel.
Rat.
rabbit's head.
Ah, yes.
Not the whole rabbit,
Just the head.
What I thought was the ball coat apart, floppy rabbit ears.
This is nightmare fuel.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
look, the dog. She's like, oh my God.
Yeah. So, yep. You telling that reminded me of that.
Okay. Fucking dogs. Penny
Dogs are
acts
gonna
like
dog.
she doesn't.
Unruly.
Penny acts like she doesn't get fed. She acts like we don't feed her. She's a glutton. She wants to eat everything.
dude. I
And
know,
it's
man.
like, what the fuck is your problem? And then she was gobbling that bird down like she hadn't eaten in a month. And because she knew I was gonna
Oh, yeah. You were about
be
to get it. You were
pissed.
compensating
I was gonna
that.
try to
Yep.
get it. What am I gonna do? She would have bitten me
Yeah.
if I'd have tried to take it away from her.
Yeah.
And then all day, all I could think of is there's a rotting dead bird in your gullet, and you're gross.
I mean, she looks at that when we eat chicken, so. that
I
rotting
know,
dead
but I
bird
don't
in
eat
your
chicken that gets
gullets.
hit in the road. You know what I mean? Like,
What? I don't know.
I don't.
You seen your chicken sourced?
Fair enough. But yeah, it just bugged the shit out of me. And I think about she ate all the feathers
Yep.
and all the shit in its gullet or whatever, and
Dude.
just I can't help it.
Anytime Clementine eats anything that is not her food, I immediately think about what's this going to do to her shit.
Me too.
Like, what precautions do we need to take? What do I need to be prepared for?
Because when Miss Moneypenny farts, everybody smells it. The whole house stinks. And when she eats stuff like that, her farts get even more disgusting.
More birdie.
Oh, it's so bad. And of course, Pixel, the little one, is just like, I'm screaming at Penny, like, drop it. And
Oh,
she's
yeah.
running away and trying to just chomp it down. And meanwhile, Pixel is literally cowering by the back door, trying to like melt through it because she's terrified because I'm going off on Penny. And oh God, it was awful.
Have you ever had that experience
Fucking
of
dogs.
trying to get something like that away from a cat?
I have, yes, but I have had much easier time getting things
Oh,
away from
man.
cats, if you can
Dude.
believe it.
I remember one time we had a cat named Cosmo, Kara's son, actually. Love that cat. And Nikki was making I think she was making something out of steak. And out of the blue, like he just hatched a plan to jump up on the counter, grab a piece of steak, and take off. And this piece of steak that he got was probably like the size of like my open palm. So like it's flapping, and like we're like, and he's like, I mean, take it off. I mean, he is like, no, and like he runs.
My steak.
Yep, he runs up the stairs, and I run after him. I don't know what like.
What are you gonna do now?
Right. At
You
this
gonna-
point, it's like, yeah,
I want that today.
like, are we gonna eat it? I mean, like, why am I doing this? I don't know.
How are we gonna rinse this off?
Yeah, I'm not thinking. It's just instinct, you know. It's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So I chase him up the stairs, and like he runs into the bathroom, hops in the bathtub. I run in after him, and then he just goes, poof, full puff, and starts going.
I will kill you.
It's like, holy shit! All right,
Right, take the fucking steak. You win this
yours.
round.
It's yours.
See, Bella's the opposite. Bella, if she would fucking eat anything, like steak, chicken, like she won't eat anything.
I feel like that's
It's
out of
very,
character.
That is
it's
really
very
weird.
weird because like the only thing she will want, boiled chicken, not fried chicken, not roasted grilled chicken, boiled chicken exclusively. She will go fucking nuts for boiled chicken, coconut oil, and one kind of treat. Otherwise, she won't eat a fucking thing unless there's another dog in the house. Then she'll eat whatever we feed her before the other dog can get it.
She's like a 17th century English noble.
yeah, exactly. Because it's. I mean, we can't drop.
How was
Nothing,
this
nothing.
chicken
She won't do it.
prepared? Grilled, you say? No,
Poppycock!
Poppycock. I think not.
Boil it,
Do
peasant.
you have any boiled chicken? as I have
need to-
repeatedly requested.
My shit has to be a certain sticky consistency.
That's what it's about. It's warfare. Bubba Shane says, after the real PS, also, my fiance is also a nurse who is going to school, so I want to wish Melissa the best of luck in her endeavors.
Very nice. Very nice. I'll pass it along.
Thank you for the nice letter.
Yes, thank you.
I'm sorry I had so much trouble reading it, but my eyesight's not what it used to be.
Yeah, we're in a low light situation here too.
What do your elf eyes see, Dave?
The map says we're fucked.
So
That's pretty good.
that's pretty much it. All right.
Pretty good.
Well, let's do some business. I want to talk a little
Finally.
bit about our Patreon. We have
Open your mouth.
patreon.com/tadpog or pisstasters.com.
Taste the piss.
We have, if you'd like to donate for as little as $1, you could have access to the bonus content we've got. We're working on some stuff, I promise. Time has not been our friend, but we are going to get to that. But what I can do eventually, today is just that kind of day, isn't it? Just the nostalgia day.
Yeah.
I love it. What I can do, however, is read the list of our executive producers, which are our wonderful donors who give us $20 or more per month to help keep the show going. And I'm going to read that list right now, starting with, oh, by the way, shout out to Usurper Grimm, who is our first executive producer. He got my package, confirmed it today. Thanks for the confirmation.
Oh, good.
He loved all the stuff that was in it. He
Awesome.
got a Transformers OG Transformer Soundwave action figure, the one that turned into the Jam Box. Then he had the laser beak cartridge. You remember that?
No.
He had a little tiny cartridge. He looked like a Walkman.
Uh-huh.
And in his the door on the front of him opened up, and he had a little cartridge of a bird, like a bird of prey, called Laserbeak.
Dude.
And he transformed into a cassette.
There's a
And it
musician
goes in.
named Laserbeak, and I bet that's
It's probably
100% where he got the name. I
Yeah.
never knew that.
Yeah. And there was
Speed
another.
Racer also has a robot bird.
There was another
That's
one.
true. It comes out of his car.
There was another one that transformed into like a cat, like a panther. But I can't remember the name of that one. I didn't have those cassettes, so I apologize for not having those. I think probably my kids lost those. My actual kids that are now adults lost those years ago. And then Naj also got his package.
Nice.
And I sent him a bunch of stuff from Shadows of the Empire, which is the story that takes place between Empire Strikes
Dash
Back
Rendar.
and Return of the Jedi, featuring new character Dash Rendar. Naj had never read Shadows of the Empire, and I was telling him a little about it today, and so he bought it. He bought a copy, and he's going to read it. So I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback on that
Dude,
one, Naj.
back in the day, before the prequels were out,
Yes.
like
This was
Shadows
fresh
of the Empire
canon
was
content.
fucking huge.
It
man.
was a
like that was a
big deal.
big deal for me because
Me too. I still have that book
It was your
in
Simpsons
there.
once a week drought of content.
Yeah, more so. Yeah, it was like that, but amplified.
Yeah.
yeah. Because I had read some of the extended universe stuff, but
Same.
this was special because it took place between two movies, and it's like that's
the two
definitely-
of the three
Right.
movies. Yeah,
I'm gonna
at the
read this
time.
for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, he liked all that stuff, and he's going to read it. So I'll
Cool.
tell you what he has to say about it next time we hear from him. But anyway, back to our executive producer list: Usurper Grimm, Cousin David Galino, Plinko Nick Price, Cubicle Monkey, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Master Cycle Baron Kevin Link, Lost My Place, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Joseph Phillips, Matt Gentile, aka Gentle G, Louisville correspondent Princess Consuela Banana Hammock, Flavor Trick, Taryn Dahl, congratulations on your marriage. Pinball Airplane Archmage Chris Edler, we're sorry you could not be on this episode. Platinum member Brett Miller. Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins. Nate from Utah, first-time caller. Drinksmith Joey Webster. Derek Pope Sandwich. And Cody Phillips. Thank you all for your generosity.
Yep, thank you all.
It keeps us going. And we're very grateful for that. And then, of course, as always, thanks to Backlog Banisher Dane, Mr. Puzzles himself, puts our show on YouTube every week just because he wants to. That's a really cool thing that you do for
and
us.
so he gets it early. But I can respect that.
He's going to get it early anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows how to get it early.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
And we're not changing that. So, I mean.
Yeah. If that's what motivates him to do it, by God.
Totally good with
go
it.
Right. We'll just keep doing it.
Yep.
And then that's it. That's all I got.
Cool. This was fun. Had a lot of fun
one. Had a
tonight.
good time.
Good to see y'all.
Hey, you guys want to close it out?
Guesses.
Your second favorite Simpsons character?
Bart Scompson.
Bart Simpson.
Our second favorite Simpsons character?
Second favorite.
Is that what she said? Okay. Yeah. All right. Sure.
So until next time.
Tropical Capricorn. The goggles do nothing.
You guys are all Bleeding Gums Murphy?
I did think about Bleeding Gums Murphy, though. I really did.
Oh, I should have done Michael Jackson.
I also thought about Michael Jackson.
Birthday.
One of my
Happy
favorite fictional
birthday,
songs.
Lisa.
Fucking love it.
TADPOG is hosted and produced by Tyler Holland, Dave Moore, and Ian Chandler, and is available wherever fine podcasts are hosted. Have a question or comment for the hosts? Call us at 270-883-2555 and leave us a voicemail. We'll even play it on the show and respond eventually. Want to send us something? You can do that at Tadpog Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. Sick of us doing all the talking? You can join in on the conversation by visiting our Discord at bit.ly/tadpogdiscord or tastethepiss.com. Not many things are truly free these days, but our Discord is, and we'd love to see you there. Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive, and a link to that track can be found at the show notes at tadpog.com. Thanks for listening, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcasting platform. We really appreciate it. So for that reason, it's never been ideal for me to have music on during sex. Because
Hold on, wait. Listen. Oh, stop.
Oh, wait. I love this part.
Listen to this.
Oh, you got to hear this part.
When Eric Clapton wrote this line.
Oh, I wouldn't listen to Eric Clapton anyway, especially not during sex.
No, this
Tears
part,
in
how you felt about the
heaven.
vaccine.
Now, see, he left the window open.
Believe it!